I had the misfortune of watching a lot of the Sunday morning news shows. J.D. Vance made the rounds. That was one of his appearances with CNN's Dana Bash. It was so awful to watch her spend the entire interview droning on and interrupting him and attacking him over the Haitian migrant story out of Springfield, Ohio. Kamala's advocates have clearly seized upon a very real problem of 20,000 Haitian migrants in a community like Springfield of 58,000, and they think that's going to turn the American people away from Trump and into the arms of this dimwit Kamala Harris, who sat down for an interview Friday night on ABC. It was ABC 6 in Philly. If I was half the man I used to be, I'd play the whole 12 minutes. It's so awful. And it's scary because you think, my gosh, this is who they want to put into the White House. This is who they kicked Joe Biden out for. This country, man, we are in such deep you-know-what. I'm looking at a media site called Mediaite. It's a left-leaning, conservative-hating site. You want to know what their number one story is at Mediaite, this website? Elon Musk incites rage online after claiming no one is trying to assassinate Biden and Kamala. Billionaire Elon Musk sent out a controversial post Sunday following the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. Musk took to X, where he claimed Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have not had to face assassination attempts. A user called Dodge Designer asked on X why they want to kill Donald Trump. And Musk responded, and no one is even trying to assassinate Biden Kamala. Well, that is it. What's the rage? Oh, the Never Trumpers came out of the woodwork. Dispatch editor-in-chief called his comments appalling and indefensible. Other comments. This is actually crazy. You've officially lost it, dude. And it's sad to see. You want to know what else is a big story at Mediaite? They've got a clip of an anti-Trump MSNBC regular who claims that Trump's story about and his narrative about the Haitian crisis in Ohio, including reports of Haitians eating geese and pets and dogs and cats, quote, Trump wants someone to be killed. Trump wants someone to be killed. The anti-Trumpers are claiming it's Trump. He's the one that wants other people killed. The man almost got assassinated again yesterday. And this is what this garbage legacy media is doing. And they are absolute garbage. They are such trash. There's a report that there's a whistleblower who is emerging claiming that ABC gave the questions to Kamala Harris in advance. No one would be surprised if that's true. I don't know if it's true. I don't have a clue. But I guarantee you it's certainly within the realm of possibilities. Here was J.D. Vance attempting to answer questions from an interrogator, Dana Bash. And remember, she was all cozy and comfy with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, didn't challenge them, didn't push back in any way, shape, or form. Listen to what some of this sounded like. Gosh, I'm loving J.D. Vance more and more every day. This guy's a warrior, and going on the Sunday morning shows the way he did verified and confirmed why Trump picked this guy, the senator from Ohio. Listen to this.
Dana, first of all, let me just respond to a couple of things that you said, but I want to start with something you said, which I think is frankly disgusting and is more appropriate for a Democratic propagandist than it is for an American journalist. There is nothing that I have said that has led to threats against these hospitals. These hospitals, the bomb threats and so forth, it's disgusting. The violence is disgusting. We condemn it. We condemn all violence.
Senator, this happened after you and President Trump were on the debate stage, said that cats and dogs were being eaten.
You asked a question, Dana, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it. What we have said is that this town has suffered terribly under the policies of Kamala Harris. Now, you just accused me of inciting violence against the community when all that I've done is surface the complaints of my constituents, people who are suffering because of Kamala Harris's policies. Are we not allowed to talk about these problems because some psychopaths are threatening violence? We can condemn the violence on the one hand, but also talk about the terrible consequences of Kamala Harris's open border on the other hand.
Now, and that's a rare segment where she let him speak, because for most of the interview, she interrupted every other word. She kept jumping on him, pushing him. And incidentally, are you following this logic? J.D. Vance is inciting violence in Ohio because some screwballs phoned in some death threats after the internet exploded, after Trump said that Haitian migrants are eating the dogs and the cats in Ohio. It made me think of my role as a talk show host with audience in Ohio. You've heard the callers. Maybe they're all making it up. Maybe they're all part of a giant anti-Haitian conspiracy. But you've heard people say that there is a huge crisis in Ohio. Heck, the governor's calling in, or the mayor, rather, of Springfield, Ohio, is calling in, trying to get federal assistance for the crisis that they're facing. And caller after caller has talked about the Haitian migrant issue. 20+ thousand migrants plopped into Springfield, Ohio, thanks to Kamala Harris's and Joe Biden's Haitian migrant policy. And I thought about my role. If somebody, can you imagine somebody accusing me as a talk show host of inciting violence because some goofball has called in a bomb threat at a hospital in Springfield, and because I'm taking callers who are picking up the phone, dialing 800-655-MIKE, and telling me this is absolutely happening in my community, and you're going to blame me? You're going to blame the show? That's what they're doing to J.D. Vance. And finally, this is the 30 seconds that went viral, millions and millions of views. J.D. Vance finally had enough of Dana Bash, and he really let her have it. The joke on the internet was, here's the 30 seconds that officially ended Dana Bash's career. Now, of course, it really didn't, but it's fun to fantasize, because here's what he did.
Dana, would you like to ask me questions and then let me answer them, or would you like to debate me on these topics? I noticed that when you had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy to be here to talk about policy, but if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this? So please ask a question, and I'd ask you to be polite enough to let me answer it.
And you know what the formula is on all the Sunday morning shows? And I was in a hotel room. My flight was delayed. You know, I love that when you get that notification. Oh, mechanical, and good. Make the plane safe, and I want to come home safely. Didn't get back from New York until late last night. I wanted to come back in time for a big party over in St. Petersburg. I talked to John Katsimatidis on Friday. They're having the big topping off ceremony today at 400 Central, which is this huge condominium that John is building in St. Petersburg, and I've been invited to attend. So after the show today, I'm going to scooch over there and check out the festivities. But I'm watching these Sunday morning shows. They put on a Republican like J.D. Vance, interrupt him, harangue him, challenge him incessantly. And then after that painful segment, they put on a Democrat. And it doesn't matter if it's Kirsten Welker on ABC, if it's Dana Bash on Meet the Press, if it's Margaret Brennan on CBS, all of them did the same thing. They all do the same thing. They harangue and interrupt and browbeat the Republican guest, and then they bring the Democrat on, and it's an absolute love fest. It's just, Hey, Democrat, you say whatever you want to say. Take your time. Trump's trying to get people killed because he says they're eating the dogs. Oh, they're trying to get people killed. Meanwhile, the man actually nearly gets killed a second time in 2 months. That's where we are right now as a country. Holy cow. I mean, this is beyond insane. We're down the rabbit hole. And if we don't get this election right, this country's gone. And I mean it. I mean, why isn't the media asking legitimate, journalistically sound questions like, how did the would-be assassin know that Trump was playing golf? It was reportedly a last-minute decision. How was he there? How was he on the golf course? How could this have happened again for the second time in 2 months? So when people sit around and call this show and say things like, I'm worried that the Secret Service is trying to get him killed. When people call this show and say, I'm worried that Homeland Security is leaking Trump's schedule to the bad guys. I'm worried for Trump's safety. We're worried for this man's life. And look, he's got a campaign. He can't pull a Biden. He would never pull a Biden. He's not going to hide. He's not going to pull a Kamala Harris and refuse to give interviews. He's not going to hide. He's going to go out and campaign. And every time he sets foot off of that plane, his life is in danger. Every time President Trump appears in public, it's clear his life is in danger. And again, I'll go back to what I said at the top. If this was happening to Kamala or Biden or Hillary or Barack, we'd shut the country down, and the media would be lighting its hair on fire. Instead, these sick nutcases are blaming him. Lester Holt is a nutcase. I know he's reading a script, but he has to sign off on it. He looked into a teleprompter and said, it's J.D. Vance and Trump's fault talking about the pets in Springfield that nearly got Trump killed. That's where we are right now in September 16th, 2024, America. It's not all right now. It's terrible. 800-655-MIKE. Let's get your reaction. I promise your call's coming up.